I'd like to welcome everybody out to the webinar. Today is May 19th. We've got one more in our spring series of webinars coming up. Next week's is we're going to end out on an awesome topic of cybersecurity, some top things that you need to make sure you're doing to protect your dollars, data, and your business. Cybersecurity, we know even after last weekend's massive hack all throughout the world that there's only going to be more and more issues with cybersecurity, and we've got a great presenter next week that will be on from the SBDC State Office that will be talking about cybersecurity. So that will round out our spring series, and then we're planning on getting these back up and going in the fall. Today's topic is what you can do with your website to have the best content for the best search engine optimization. We're going to be, this is going to be led by one of our regional directors with the SBDC out of northern Idaho market up there. Is it Region 5 that you're out of?
Region 2.
Region 2, sorry. I was thinking the other one down here. So Region 2 up north, and she's going to be talking about some things with Google and how to make your website the best. Barb's, how long have you been with the SBDC, Barb?
5.5 years.
5.5 years, great. She's got some great experience, and she teaches some awesome classes up there, and we've asked her to lead this one. And with that minor introduction, we'll turn the time over to Miss Barbara Leachman.
Well, thank you, Brian. I'm looking forward to this, and what I really look forward to is your questions and feedback, so we know we're kind of hitting what you're interested in. So Google optimization is quite a topic to talk about in a half an hour, so we're going to get right into it. I'm from Lewis Clark State College here in Lewiston, Idaho, and I have really enjoyed being part of Google optimization. And my slide button isn't working like I thought it was going to do, but here we go. So what is Google? It is by far the most popular search engine or crawler out there that matches up what people are looking for on the internet with websites. It's not the same as browser software. Google owns Chrome, Apple owns Safari, but actually a different thing that we're talking about. It's not software that's on your computer, it's a search engine. And it is very important if you want to get people to your website. So it's going to match up words, phrases, questions, whatever it is that people are typing into that search engine block with what is on your website. And it's matching up those words and phrases and questions. So trying to put yourself in the minds of the people that you want to have come to your website and figuring out what the words are or phrases that they might be typing in and making sure that you have those on your website. So Google also sells advertising through Google AdWords, and we're not going to be talking a whole lot about that because we're going to be talking about the content that you have on your website. So one of the realities, though, is that search engines are like high school. Popularity equals importance. So the more people that use your website, the more people who are coming there and staying and exploring, the higher you're likely to rank on Google. And so sometimes you have to resort to paying for those AdWords, and that would be a whole other class to be talking about that. So after your website is up, how do you get people to your website? Well, search engine optimization, marketing, and social media, and then we're going to focus on what is needs to be on your page. So there's over 30 trillion pages out there indexed on the internet, and that was a couple of years ago. So it's a daunting task to get your page found out of all of those that are out there. So what we're told by the people who run these search engines, and I've been to workshops that Google themselves have put on, but their algorithm, how they rank websites, is a secret. But what they do tell us, Google, Yahoo, and Bing all are telling us that it's about high quality content. And these search engines are not able to see pictures, drawings, GIFs, different types of things on your website. What they are doing is reading words. And so that's where we go back to that content. But it isn't always just about the words. You've got to do things like keep people on your page in order to rank well. So you want to be answering the questions, what does the business do, first on your website, and then are other customers like me, so that the people that are searching are like matching up. Is this a place I want to be? Is this a website or a page I want to explore? Is it going to benefit me in some way by providing me information, solving my problems, getting me the services or products that I want? So this is our SBDC state website homepage. And so what you're seeing there, of course, on the upper left-hand side is a logo. So that's very typical on a website. You're going to have a logo, and then you're going to have a menu. And so up there by the logo, it says Small Business Development Center. So, but what do they do? So in the big pictures, the big words are, I am a business owner, or I am starting a business. So this is telling people who will come to this website that if they're a business owner or they're thinking about starting a business, these customers, this website is serving those target populations. And so then they're more likely to stay there. What do? They empower business success. And up here on the menu, through consulting, training, resources, specialized services, and then we have what we call a call to action button. So it's part of the menu, but it's request an appointment. So it's telling people that if this is matching up with what they are looking for, they can request an appointment. Then there's locations, an about page, even a search question. There's some specialty services listed down here, and then we offer dependable, no-cost coaching. So this is what I think to be a very good example of that homepage, answering those questions of people that are coming, and so they can look for more information under these tabs. So what is content on a web page? So we have words, we've talked about that. We have images, videos, descriptions of those images, and sometimes those descriptions can be hidden, and we call that alt text, but it can be very important as part of getting people to the right web page. I was working with a gal just a couple of weeks ago that has a construction business, and she lives in a really tiny rural town. So that's not very helpful in terms of having that location on the website. Yes, you want to have it there, but she wants to have the towns and the counties and the region described on her web page. And we figured out that putting those place names in under her images as describing where these places, these homes or buildings that they've built are located at, is a very nice way to get those locations in there without just making a list of them. So describing the business itself, describing your customers like we just saw on the SBDC page, the product, services, who the owners are. So a lot of small businesses are very much about the owner. Think about professionals, architects, doctors, people who build websites. Sometimes they're known in the community by their name, and so that owner's description is an important part of it. maybe instructions or help that people are looking for on websites. You want to break your website up so it's easy for people to scan, and titles and menu titles are a very important part of that. People are in a hurry, they don't want to read a book, and so titling each paragraph or each list or each series of bullet points is very important, and those titles are given more weight by the search engines than regular content. We talked about what a call to action is. It's leading the person on your website to what you want them to do. So maybe you want them to make a purchase, maybe you want them to request an appointment like we do, maybe you want them to give you a phone call. And so by asking that visitor to your page to actually do those things, it's more likely to happen. And answering people's questions. One of the things I do is study about search engine optimization. And so I go to websites and blogs and read articles about the questions I have related to website content. And so that is one of the things that will get me to stay on a page and possibly even sign up for a newsletter or give them my contact information, is that they're going to provide me with answers to my questions. And then links are another very important part of search engine optimization. You want to have credible links both coming to your website and going out from your website. I'm going to touch a little bit more about that in a minute or two. So what your content is going to need to provide for your existing or potential best customers. So if somebody's going to spend $2 with you, unless that's your primary market focus, that's not who you're targeting. You're going to be targeting the people who are going to become your best customers. So you're going to be providing them with content that is valuable and interesting to them, easy and fast to find, personalized. So we recommend that most of the small businesses we work with have pictures of the owners, description of the history of that business, and of course your contact information. If I'm having to do a lot of searching on a website to find out where they're located and how to contact them, that's not good. So on a lot of the small business websites, they're going to have their phone number and their email address and their location, maybe not their personal address, but at least the town where the business is located is going to be right up front in that header on every page. So we talk about both organic and paid results with search engines. So the organic results are being able to get your page on that search engine first page without having to pay money for the AdWords. So it all depends on what the searcher is putting in that search line. If they put in your business name, and it's a fairly unique business name, of course you're going to show up on the front page. If you're not, there's something wrong. Did they know your location? And I can do a whole section on local marketing for your website. Or did they know something unique about your business? Or are they just looking for socks and putting blue socks in that search engine line? And if that's what they're doing, it's going to be really tough to show up on the first page, and you might have to pay if that's what you sell. And again, hopefully we'll start getting some questions. Interrupt me, Brian, if you're seeing some questions that might be good to address as we're going through it. So I've got a few steps here to help with your search engine optimization. Keep it current. That means updated. That means changing words, phrases, pictures, changing things on your website often. So that means you have to know, or you have to be working very closely with a person who knows how to do that. And if your website's been up there for a year and has not been updated, it is going to be tough for people to find you. So Google thinks it's very important that you are there updating that website, or that somebody is. That you have the right keywords and phrases in that website. So I do this with clients all the time. We sit down and we brainstorm about what people might be looking for that's going to apply to their business. So for example, that construction business, they might be putting in the type of building. They might be looking for a certain type of contractor. And of course, location is a huge deal with that. I'm not wanting to deal with a contractor out of Spokane. We're currently in the process of hiring somebody to put up a pole building on our acreage. And the disappointment I found searching on the internet for our region, I could go on about a long time, but brainstorming friends, family, employees, consultants, and customers about what they are searching for, and making sure that you're getting those keywords and phrases in your website. And people talk about black hat SEO. Yeah, Google's figured that out. If you put white words and lists of locations on a white background so that people can't see it, Google doesn't like that, and they will degrade your position on the search engines if you're doing that kind of thing. Customize your titles. So if you come up with a template for a search for a website, you're going to see words like home, about, contact, maybe a blog. You want to customize to what you do. So instead of having the word services, you have that word changed to what you offer. So like the SBDCs offer no-cost consulting. So instead of the word services, the heading for that page on the menu is consulting. And I really like testimonial pages for a lot of our small businesses. That's an important part of building trust with their customers. So what our customers say about us, or customer testimonials, again, trying to customize some of those titles, because nobody is searching on the word about. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for what your business is about, and so you need to have those specific words. You need to be mobile friendly, and there's a link here for checking with Google if they find your website to be mobile friendly or not, and if they don't, they might give you some suggestions on how to do that. And links. I promised we'd talk a little bit more about links, and I know we don't have a lot of time here, but you want to be getting respected links to your website. That's very important. And sometimes that's difficult to do. You do not want to be buying cheap links from some other country. That's possible to do, but Google has figured out how that is not a good thing. So sometimes you can trade links. So you put a link from your one of your website pages to the local Chamber of Commerce. You pay a membership fee, and then they link back as members to your website. And so chambers are considered to be a respected link. Possibly other business organizations that might be specific to the type of business you're in. Maybe from the city, maybe from the college. We do success stories, and so we can create links from our state website or from ours at lcsc.edu to that business that has been a success story, and that can be valuable if their website is valuable to their business. Free, and I know they've been talked about before in these series, are things like Google Business and Google Map, social media like Facebook, So Google owns YouTube. So YouTube is huge in terms of the amount of visits that they get, and so it's very helpful to have a link there. And then possibly some of these directories. Some of these are free and some of them you have to pay for. So for example, Idaho Outfitters, if you're a member of that organization, then you can get a link. So some pitfalls to avoid. We had a client who came to a class, and I had checked out their website ahead of time, and they loaded very slowly, and it had to do with this really interesting drawing moved. I think somebody probably did it in like an engineering software in 3D, and but it was a lot of took up a lot of space, and it caused their page to load slowly, and Google doesn't like that. So that went to a different page. Automatic sounds. Oh gosh, you even have to shut those off on Facebook now. There's a study's been done, and there's reasons you don't want automatic sounds to start playing on your website when people land. And your bounce rate. So bounce rate is if people arrive at your website, don't like it, and leave immediately, that's bad. Google doesn't want people to have to do that. So your website needs to be very appealing and keep people there to spend some time looking around rather than bouncing away. And Google can tell how well you know the English language, and they don't want to send people from English-speaking countries to other countries unless that's something they're actually looking for. So be sure your material has been proofread and isn't full of lots of mistakes. Of course, market your website. So this is an example of including our website in the signature line of every email that goes out. It's also on our business cards. And a little bit of information here on getting on the Google map. And of course, Google likes you to use Google tools. And it also helps customers learn about you, and it's free. And so I've got the steps in that process. I'm not going to go through all of these steps, but if you're interested, you can come back to this subject because it's going to help with your search engine optimization. And then I've got some website content information here. So I've got these top 10 lists, and this first one is don't miss these things when you're creating your website. So right up front on that home page, describing what the business does, what value you provide to your customers or to people visiting your website, how your business is better, how to contact you, how to proceed with the purchase, helping people get through this process. If I'm looking at a website and having to study, you know, where do I go next? That's not good. Also, looking at a website of a client just recently, on the website, the button worked fine, but on the mobile phone, which is where most searches are being done now, particularly for local, when you pressed or tried pressing on the button to actually make the purchase, it didn't work. So you've got to be sure those things are being checked. Who your best customers are, why they buy from you, and how you help them. So those testimonials can be very helpful there. How people can find more details if they want more details. You don't have to have all those details there on the front page, but helping them if they are looking for that. Why you can be trusted, of course, your location, and that site needs to be organized and appealing. So I've got 10 value possibilities because value, again, is very important that you're putting that right out front there, how you're solving people's problems or making them feel good, making them rich. Greed is a strong purpose that a lot of people have. Is your service, you know, how is it better? Is it faster? How about your location? If you've got a restaurant, maybe it's closer, it's faster, it's easier to get in and out, maybe safer. Don't just put the word quality, but describe how your quality might be better. And some additional things people like made in the USA, free freight or shipping. They've been shown that, yeah, people really like that. Then trust. People have gotten nervous about doing business on the internet, and they're nervous about doing business with companies that they are not experienced with. And so trust is a very important part of websites. And some people aren't very good at figuring out what's fake and scams, but people are getting better at it. And so having real people, the real owners, staff, and customers highlighted on your website. Maybe policies that you have to protect their information, secure financial transactions, and evidence that you play fair. We call them success stories. There's customer testimonials, possibly guarantees that you have. And this is something that the search engines have figured out. Number 6 here, expected responsiveness to contact requests. So like on social media, if somebody asks you a question, or on Google Maps, if somebody rates you, gives you a rating, how fast you respond to those comments or questions is ranked by Google. How long your business has been around, your expertise, possibly memberships in various organizations, and professional, well thought out website content. So some of these are repeats, but I go back to them because people miss them. So make sure you haven't missed what the business does, what value you provide your customers, how to contact you, how they can proceed with the purchase or contact. Okay, so a little bit of bonus here. I'm a fan of Eric Spellman. He is a website developer, owned the biggest website company between Denver and Dallas, I think, is what he said. He's actually sold that business and is doing speaking, and has all these short videos about working online at ericspellman.com. A lot of them free. He also has some classes you can pay for. But one of the topics that he talks about is don't fall for SEO scams. There are a lot of people out there that might guarantee you to get on the first page if you pay them enough. And what he says is no one can guarantee organic. And of course, if they put together their own combination of words, yeah, they might be able to get you on the first page real quick with some purchased words. But it has to be really about what your potential customers are going to be searching for. So learn how to do it yourself. Why YouTube? That's the second largest search engine, and it's also owned by Google. Again, Google likes you to do those things. And you can end up with more traffic on your YouTube channel than you have on your website. It's free to create a channel. You want to make sure you give it a good description that connects to what your business provides. And then you want to watch your analytics. So this is Google's analytics connection page. So what you do is you install a specific piece of Google code on usually your home page. You can do more than that. And then Google will track the action and provide insight on a dashboard for free about how many people are coming to your website, what's bringing them to your website, and maybe even what country they're from. Another good tracking site that, of course, everybody is trying to upgrade you to pay money, but this one has some free tools that gives you a search engine report card at UpCity. So this is an example of what's happening on my website through Google Analytics and what's bringing them to my website. And so organic Google searches were 47 out of 56. So that's ending up the presentation. Idaho Small Business Development Centers exist to help businesses thrive and grow. That's why we're here, and we really enjoy doing it. And our jobs are so interesting because we get to work with such a diverse group of business owners and entrepreneurs. And I'd be happy to ask questions, answer questions. So I can ask them too, but.
All right, Barbara, we've got 3 questions at least here that I've scrolled back a little bit. So number 1, how do you keep up with the changing rules of Google? How do they post? Do they tell you what they're looking for, or is it just an ongoing? You have to figure it out.
So I've got a group of magazines that I follow and get their newsletters and websites. Of course, a lot of them are trying to upsell you to different things, but one of them is HubSpot, and they have free white papers. And so there are, there's a whole cadre of people that follow this subject and learn about it. So one of the things we do is we go to Google trainings, usually once a year, and learn about it, but also reading and staying abreast of what's going on, and no, they don't publish their algorithm. That's kept confidential.
Okay, very good. Always a challenge to stay ahead of the competition there. So another question from Dominic, do you need permission to add those links to your page, say the Chamber of Commerce?
No, so I have made a whole list of links to organizations like Chamber of Commerce's on our website, so that's a link to those organizations. But to get a link from them, you're probably going to have to be a member, and that costs varying amounts of money.
Okay, very good. And Mr. Robert Brady asked, how would you recommend balancing SEO with PPC? For example, using AdWords while you work on getting your website on the first page.
Okay, so the organic search versus and the paid, like buying the Google AdWords. So balancing those is going to depend on, 1, your advertising budget, and number 2, how unique your business is. So if your business is very unique, gosh, I was working with somebody that makes packing like backpacks for goats, for goat hiking type things. I mean, very unique, very small market. So organic is probably going to work for her business to get her name out there, to reach her potential customers, and it's sort of a tight-knit group of people who connect socially. If what you're selling is fairly generic, not a lot of uniqueness, you're going to have to spend more to get in front of people on the search engines. And again, if you're local, I would really focus on those local links and local marketing and social versus the whole world and with common Google AdWords. Some of those AdWords can get very expensive, but again, if your business is very unique and you're figuring out some unique things people are searching on, you can get a phrase in there. It could cost a whole lot less than if you're selling Chevy trucks.
agree with that. Okay, another good question here. Building trust is very hard for startups. What would be some quick and easy steps for first-time trust builder tactics?
So I agree, and that is putting yourself out there and being very professional about it. So those local organizations, becoming involved in the community so that people know who you are and know the you know, your stability. You know, we go back to the whole thing that, yeah, a lifetime guarantee is pretty worthless if the company's going out of business next year. And so there have been a lot of people that have been burned by things like that. So you need to get to know people personally. I don't know what kind of business that we're talking about, but yeah, get things put together professionally and then connect with people individually. It's tough.
Very good. Good deal. All right. Well, I think that's all. Let me scroll down here and make sure that's the last. Other than what is listed here already, especially for out of the gate startups. There you go. I think you answered that one, Barbara. So thank you very much. All right. If anyone else has any questions, Dominic, thank you. So any other questions? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Awesome content here. I mean, every business around needs to hear this kind of stuff to realize that when you made a comment today that you have to be updating your site, I mean, I update my site, my own business's site like once every, once a year, but that's probably obviously not enough to stay ahead of the competition. So great content here. Absolutely great, Barbara. Thank you so much. Just a reminder again, next week, cybersecurity, top tips for protecting your dollars, data, and business. So if no one else has any questions, thank you so much, Barbara. I so appreciate you being prepared like this. And we look forward to seeing next week on the 26th. We'll see everybody then. This will be up on the website hopefully later today or Monday, on YouTube and on our website. So thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Take care.
Thanks, Barb.